on our set and our lot. Never have we had somebody, everybody's talking about all the pictures, you talk to everybody, you're like the nicest guy in Hollywood. Has this always been how you are? Because I feel
there's
like...
a lot of people that know me here for years. This is how I've always been, yeah. Yeah, well, there you go.
I know, but we had your daughter on, and she was the same,
oh, she's
so I
even
like
nicer.
this. Did someone tell you when you were younger, sort of, like, hey, the press things are going to be long, and I don't know.
Just to be kind to everyone.
So let's be authentic about that. When I was a child, my family was in theater, and they did theater with famous people. So even though I wasn't, or my family wasn't, we were familiar with that. So I always understood let's say the moral code of the celebrity and the audience, or celebrity and the fans. So I've never been foreign to it.
Right.
You know.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
You are one of the nicest guys.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I mean, honestly. This role, though.
Moose.
Woo! I mean, obsessed is kind of putting it, would you say lightly?
Well, okay, let's clear that up, too.
Yeah, what would you say?
I would say that every single one of us has Moose in them. That's the character's name, is Moose.
Okay.
Because we've all loved our favorite artists, our favorite sports figure, our favorite historical character, whatever they've been, we've loved them in an indescribable way, and also in an unrequited way. And this guy imagines in his mind that when his favorite movie star, Hunter Dunbar, meets him, he's going to just freak over what his collection is and how much he loves him, and
reciprocate some of that.
Reciprocate, and instead he gets bullied like he is at work and like he was growing up.
Yeah.
So it breaks his heart, and it's what a person does when their heart's broken. You know, they get obsessed. You know, and that's what I really think.
Who do you moose out over? Who's your moose?
Well, when I was a child, I moosed out over Jimmy Cagney.
Yes.
And the Beatles and Paul McCartney. And then later, Barbra Streisand and Marlon Brando.
Yes.
So I've had my moose moments.
But you've been famous for a long time.
Yes.
You've had the opportunity to meet these people.
I have.
What has it been like for you to meet them?
Well, you mean after I trapped them in the room? Forced them to listen to my stories. And,
right.
It was fantastic. And they did not disappoint. Matter of fact, they were even more extraordinary than I had anticipated. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't, so I believed in this character because I understood this character, but I also understood the fame aspects of being a film actor and what that entails.
So when Fred Durst calls you, we all know him from Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
When he calls you, he's like, I got this role. I wrote it.
I see you in this.
You are the man I was thinking about when I wrote this.
You're Moose.
And then he tells you the story. What's your first reaction, honestly?
Well, when I read it, I fell in love with the character, and I identified with the character, believe it or not. I just did. Yeah. So even though I've been known to play cool guys and, you know,
I mean, the
all the
coolest guys.
swagger and all that stuff,
yeah.
I just felt like I also understood that. So he only thinks of me as an actor. He doesn't think of me as an actor that would be insulted by some role that would be outside the box or something. Yeah. He thinks I'd be excited by that because he saw me play all sorts of roles, you know. And if you watch me from the beginning and then you watch the certain big reaches that I've made, it's not uncommon that I would respond to this. And I think that's he felt the same way.
You responded. You're no Dunbar. You'll know when you watch that movie.
Exactly.
Right? Let's talk about your Instagram.
Okay.
I love following you on here. Scotty and I have so much fun. Was Ella Blue instrumental in this, getting you on there, showing you how to do it?
She was instrumental in kind of not only encouraging it, but technically how to approach it.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. What the login is and where you put it, how you post a photo.
Yes, and she knows so much about that, as a lot of young people do.
Was there any teasing or jokes? Scott calls me auntie because I'm bad at it. It's like, you know, it's harder to catch on.
She's getting better though, every day.
Well, you know, when you hold on to the past technology and you still have giant giant phones like this.
Right. Exactly.
You know, that my sister won't even text. She thinks that's too far advanced. So instead she emails, but that's fine too.
Right.
Yeah.
But has there ever been an Instagram that Ella or even Benjamin's like, whoa, whoa, Dad, we're not doing that, or, yeah?
No, because I really have a certain and particular integrity about posting. It's got to be kind of fun, it's got to be interesting, and it's got to be something that someone might want to watch. You know, like, oh, here's one that's, I have this old car and I wanted to see if it would go over 100 miles an hour.
That was such a fun one.
I take it over 100 miles an hour and I filmed it. And I thought, well, that might be interesting to someone.
Yeah.
You know?
We had Ella here,
Yes.
and she's talked about what it means to her to be acting now. And I wonder for you, when you guys first had that first conversation about her wanting to pursue acting, it's like, Dad, I want to be an actress.
It was 7 years old, and she has this amazing power to kind of think thoughts, and they come true. She said, I'm really ready to do a movie, and a week later, on my desk came a script offered by Disney to star with Robin Williams in Old Dogs, and there was a perfect role for her in it. And I said, I'll do this if we could consider my daughter Ella doing it. They loved the idea, and Ella nailed it. She killed it.
I love the way even you say that, as if I will do this if you consider my daughter to be a part of this, instead of like, I'm doing it if my daughter's doing it. You know?
She was
Well, you have to
lovely.
be respectful on that kind of thing.
When she came on our set, and I was complimenting you as being the nicest guy, and that parlays through Ella Blue, because she was absolutely wonderful.
Yeah,
well
she
done.
is.
As a parent, that's the biggest compliment.
Well, I got to tell you, she's a sterling human being, and I would wish that I could say that I had something to do with it, but she really is her own person, and she has an integrity that is very hard to. I remember she was on the Ellen show years ago, and she was 8, and Ellen said, well, what should I ask you? You know, she said, well, it's your show, and you can ask me whatever you would like to share. And I thought, how does an 8-year-old know how to say that? You know? But it's her own. I didn't tell her to say that. Do you know?
Yeah.
It's her own thing.
Is she excited about the VMAs for you?
Yes, yes, of course.
Are you excited about the VMAs?
I am. I can't wait to do them. I'm going to do it with Queen Latifah, and we're going to give out the big award of the night, and I think it'll be fun.
Now, you walk out on that stage,
Yes.
and you see that prompter.
I'm going to mispronounce all that. Just to jack it up.
Just to see, right? Just because it was just such a fun. I mean, honestly, I can't imagine what that would have been like on for you actually living in the moment. But
So fun.
It was hilarious because we had drilled it the day before. It's not a difficult name. And suddenly on the prompter, I see a phonetically driven, broken apart. And I thought, well, I guess that's the new name.
right.
I will tell you, when they write it phonetically, it does mess you up. And then you kind of speed up. I mean, I do it all day long, so you're the best.
Well, the funny thing was 5 other people that night goofed up, but I was the only one that...
Because we love you.
It was the wickedly talented.
Well, you know
right
what?
before.
On the other side, a few years later, I shaved my head, and on a positive note, I get all that support.
Yes.
So whether what I do makes news is one thing, but you know, you get the other side of it too, which is a positive, I think.
So much fun.
You're the man.
Sit
If you love that video, you're going to love everything on the Access YouTube channel. So hit the subscribe button. You can thank me later. Hit it.